It's important to highlight your transferable skills and tailor your resume to each job, emphasizing quantifiable accomplishments. Optimize your LinkedIn profile to reflect your career change and engage with relevant content. In regards to addressing employment gaps, just be honest. Focusing on the skills gained and be ready to address them confidently in interviews. I'm Lisa Harding, ex-EdTech CEO turned certified teacher career coach. It wasn't all that long ago that I was recruiting, interviewing, and hiring teachers for roles in corporate America. Teachers that ended up being some of my all-time best employees. Fast forward through my own career transition, where I left my role as CEO to become a stay-at-home mom, I now work with and empower teachers to transform their lives by turning their once distant career dreams into realities. In this podcast, I give you simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. If you're a burnt-out teacher or simply need a change and you're looking to create a life you love, you're in the right place, friend. Let's get started. Hey there, friends, and welcome back. I'm Lisa Harding here for another fun Q&A session. We have questions coming in from teachers who are in all different stages of their career transition. If you have questions you'd like to be featured on future episodes, use the form linked in our show notes to send them our way. In this episode, we'll tackle these 3 questions. Number 1, how can I effectively position my teaching experience on my resume for non-teaching jobs? Number 2, how can I create a compelling LinkedIn profile that reflects my career change? And number 3, what are some ways to address potential gaps in my employment history? Let's dive in. Our first question today comes from Rachel in New York. Rachel asks, how can I effectively position my teaching experience on my resume for a non-teaching job? Thanks for your question, Rachel. Transitioning from teaching to a non-teaching role can be challenging, but it's definitely doable with the right approach and guidance. Let's break down some strategies to effectively position your teaching experience on your resume. First, start by identifying your transferable skills. Teachers possess a wealth of skills that are highly valuable in many industries. Think about your experience in terms of project management, leadership, communication, problem solving, and organizational skills. For example, as a teacher, you likely planned lessons and managed classrooms, which translates to strong project management abilities. Next, tailor your resume to the job you're applying for. This means you should customize your resume for each position, highlighting the skills and experiences that are most relevant to the job description. If you're applying for a project manager role, emphasize your experience in organizing and managing classroom activities, setting goals, and meeting deadlines. Let's move on to the structure of your resume. Start with a strong summary statement at the top of your resume. This should be brief but compelling, and it's an introduction that should highlight your key skills and career objectives. For example, dynamic and dedicated professional with over 10 years of experience in education, proven ability to manage multiple projects, lead teams, and communicate effectively. Seeking to leverage expertise and organizational skills and leadership in a project management role. Following your summary, create a skills section where you list out your key skills. Use bullet points to make this section easy to read and scan. Be sure to include both hard and soft skills that might apply. Hard skills might include curriculum development, data analysis, or proficiency in specific software. Soft skills could include leadership, adaptability, and conflict resolution. When you describe your teaching experience, focus on accomplishments and quantifiable results. For example, instead of just saying developed lesson plans, you could say designed and implemented lesson plans for 30+ students, resulting in a 15% improvement in standardized test scores. This not only shows what you did, but also the impact you had. Another important aspect is to use industry-specific language where possible. Research the terminology used in the industry you're moving into and try to incorporate those terms into your resume. This will help hiring managers see you as a good fit for their industry. Don't forget to include relevant professional development or certifications you've obtained. If you've taken courses in project management, completed a certification in business analysis, or attended workshops on leadership, make sure to highlight those. They show your commitment to continuous learning and your proactive approach to gaining new skills. Lastly, consider including a professional experience section if you have any experience outside of teaching. This can help demonstrate your versatility and ability to adapt to different roles and environments. Even volunteer work, internships, part-time jobs, they can all be relevant if they align with the skills required for the new job. The key to effectively positioning your teaching experience on your resume for non-teaching jobs is to focus on transferable skills, tailor your resume to each job, highlight accomplishments, use industry-specific language, and include relevant professional development. I hope this helps, Rachel, and I'm sure it helps a lot of our other listeners as well. Now, let's move on to our second question today. This one comes from John in Wisconsin. John asks, how can I create a compelling LinkedIn profile that reflects my career change? Great question, John, and we talk a lot about leveraging LinkedIn throughout the Teacher Career Transition Academy. If you're not using LinkedIn, add that to the top of your to-do list. This question really is for everyone going through a career transition. So I'm so glad you sent this one in, John. To craft a compelling LinkedIn profile that showcases your career transition, career transitioning teachers can follow these steps. First, optimize your headline and summary to reflect your desired career path, incorporating keywords related to your new field. In your summary, highlight transferable skills, relevant experiences, and your passion for your new career direction. Next, tailor your experience section to emphasize accomplishments and skills applicable to your target industry, focusing on quantifiable achievements, much like your resume. Additionally, leverage recommendations and endorsements from colleagues to add credibility to your profile. Engage with content related to your new field to demonstrate interest and expertise, and join relevant groups to expand your network. Ensure your profile includes relevant keywords to improve visibility in searches conducted by recruiters. Lastly, highlight any additional training, certifications, or courses undertaking to enhance your skills and knowledge in your new field. By implementing these strategies, you can create a compelling LinkedIn profile that effectively communicates your value proposition to potential employers and in their desired industries. The coaches inside of the Teacher Career Transition Academy also go into detail not just about how to set up your profile, but how to effectively utilize LinkedIn during your career change process. Networking plays a critical role, and LinkedIn can really help you access the hidden job market, which makes landing a new job more effective than just applying to published jobs. If you're interested in learning more about how to effectively use LinkedIn from our coaches, be sure to check out the Teacher Career Transition Academy. I'll drop a link in the show notes. Now, on to our final question of the day. Today's episode is sponsored by the Teacher Career Transition Academy. Our academy provides expert career coaching, professional resume and cover letter templates, small group coaching sessions, and a supportive peer network. The best way to jumpstart your career change journey is to enroll in my free Beyond the Classroom Masterclass. Visit teachercareertransitionacademy.com/masterclass to enroll now. I'll also drop the link to register for free in the show notes of this episode. This free masterclass is sure to kickstart your journey or give you the boost you need to move the needle if you're already in the career change process. Enroll for free at teachercareertransitionacademy.com/masterclass. This one comes from Melissa in Rhode Island. Melissa asks, what are some ways to address potential gaps in my employment history? Thanks for your question, Melissa. Employment gaps happen to all of us and for many reasons, and addressing them effectively is a key to successful job search. Here are some top strategies. Number one, just be honest. Always being truthful about your employment gaps and, in fact, about everything. If you fabricate details, it can backfire and harm your credibility. Number two, use your cover letter. Explain the gaps in your employment in your cover letter. Briefly mention the reason and highlight what you did during that time, like volunteer, freelancing, focusing on your family, furthering your education. The third tip is to just focus on skills. Emphasize the skills and experiences you gained during your employment gap. Highlight relevant projects, courses, or certifications, or whatever you did that kept you active and engaged. Format things strategically. Consider a functional resume format that focuses on skills and experiences rather than a chronological order. This can help downplay the gaps. I really only recommend this if your resume is full of a lot of significant gaps. Next tip is to prepare your explanation. It's likely going to come up in your interviews, so you want to be prepared to discuss your gaps confidently. Frame them positively, focusing on what you learned and how you've grown. Next, to make sure you showcase your continuous learning. Demonstrate your commitment to staying current in your field by mentioning any relevant online courses, workshops, or industry events you attended. Also, network actively. Networking can often lead to job opportunities where employment gaps are less of a concern. Personal connections can vouch for your abilities and dedication. Employment gaps are common, and many employers understand them, especially when framed constructively. Be confident, focus on your strengths, and show how you've used your time effectively. And that wraps up our Q&A session for today. I hope you found the answers to Rachel, John, and Melissa's questions helpful. As a takeaway, I hope that you will remember that during your career transition, it's important to highlight your transferable skills and tailor your resume to each job, emphasizing quantifiable accomplishments. Also, make sure to optimize your LinkedIn profile to reflect your career change and engage with relevant content. Finally, in regards to addressing employment gaps, just be honest. Focusing on the skills gained and be ready to address them confidently in interviews. If you have questions for future episodes, use the form linked in our show notes and send them in. Your questions make this podcast valuable and engaging for everyone. Thanks for tuning in today, friends. Please subscribe and leave a review if you enjoyed this episode. And remember, the journey is just the beginning. Embrace the adventure.